All right, let me make sure we have a signal from the YouTube, which we should. Sometimes it lets me know early, sometimes it doesn't. And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Jedi Academy here at RSG. Coming at you hard and heavy as we do every Saturday morning at this time. And it could be Saturday morning for me, bright and early. It could be earlier for you. It could be afternoon. It could be evening. Wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter. We're here to bring you something fun and exciting to listen to, like we always do here at RSG. And today it is the Jedi Academy. Just as a scheduling note, we'll be doing Jedi Academy, and right after this, I'm going to go right into my GAC once the GAC Whisperer wakes his monkey ass up and gets his butt in here. But welcome, and if you're new to the show, welcome. We're glad to have you. And for
yeah, I'm back.
okay, we're back. Yeah, no, that's me. It was OBS. I didn't update it like it wanted to, and I hate this nonsense with OBS. Is that if I don't do updates, all of a sudden I seem to have connection issues. So stupid. You know, it's like, really? So stupid. All right, as I was saying, let's go through the whole spiel again before we interrupted. The Jedi Academy. This is the Q&A show, and the way it works is, and the content creators will get their butt in here as they slowly and surely get in here. But this is a Q&A show, and it's all about 2 hours of just answering your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. It could be from the past week in news and stuff that's been going on. It could be anything currently related about anything in the game that you have questions about. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is get your questions into the chat. However, those are saying, did my internet, did the stream die on my internet? Just refresh, guys. Someone put that in the chat. Just refresh. OBS shit the bed, as the kids like to say, on me. Against, apparently I didn't update it. Now it's going to give me problems. It always does this nonsense. So I'll upgrade it afterwards. Stupid. But if you have a question you want to throw at us, it's real simple. Put your questions in the chat. However, there's a format that we use for this, and that is to put the word question in front of your actual question statement. The reason for that is I use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and to make it simple for me to scoop up questions, all you need to do is put the word question in there. It's a filtering word. It identifies your question as the actual question. Simple. Just follow that format, and I'll see your question in there. Now, sometimes for some reason YouTube just doesn't register your question. It's fine, but just put it in again if you think it didn't go through, and we will try to get those scooped up as best we can. So good morning to everybody and welcome. Follow that format. Go ahead and get your questions in. 98% of the time we get through all the questions here with time to spare easily, but we do have those weeks where sometimes we even extend the Jedi Academy and we still can't get to all the questions. It's happened on numerous occasions. So just let it behoove you that it does help to get your questions in sooner rather than later. And we try to go for 2 hours. And then as I was saying before, I was really interrupted on OBS pooping on me, is that after this we'll do my GAC, and right after Jedi Academy. And then after that we'll go into other stuff. I'll do D&D tonight as well over on Twitch. People really love our D&D campaigns. So if you're a D&D nerd like me, then feel free to come join. Joining me so far on the panel, we've got from the Island of Dreams, we got Aldous Sunfly. How to mercy.
How are you doing? How are you doing, Ranger?
I'm doing good.
Everyone? Welcome in, everyone. What a super interesting week. There is so much to talk about.
Yes, sir.
I'm expecting many questions. I'm expecting some spicy questions. We might have some arguments, but it's been a lot going on. They've got the Omicron and Wampa. They've got the 2 or 3 new ships, depending on how you count the other one. Yeah, no, super interesting stuff. And then we had obviously the moving the thing around, whether it was intended or not. But yeah, super interesting week. And I had a great GAC this morning and a great GAC on Thursday. So yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Some great questions.
Hell yeah. So get your questions in. We usually talk about, well, wait, we got someone else joining us. Who is it? It's that Country Viking, BCM. Big Country Max joining us. What's going on there, BCM?
Morning.
Are you alive? Are you safe?
Yes.
All right.
Get my camera started here.
That's right. You get that damn
There we
camera. Oh, he's wearing the he's wearing that It's wearing that country hat right there, boy. I tell you, that's
Yeah, I
good.
figured try something new.
Hell yeah, boy. Don't stream ain't big enough for the both of us, BCM. See you outside, partner.
Or meet at high noon. Oh wait, no, I got something at high noon. How about 2? 2 work for you?
No, I've got to pick up the kids. Law don't go around here, law dog. Savvy. All right, so we got BCM, we got Aldous. We'll get more. Calvin also said he's running a little late. He'll read in here in a little bit too. So all right. Let's talk about. We always, when we start this show off, as we get the questions coming in, is the big news of the week. What's one thing that's on your mind from this past week of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes? Their Sandfly.
Do we want to talk about the shipments thing this early? Okay, we'll talk about that. I see there's already questions, so we can maybe talk about it when we get that point.
Sure.
I love the new Wampa Omicron. I think I love what they're trying to do with that design of the kit and trying to give you a one-man team for cleanup. Really interested to see it. I think I'll put it on before the next Grand Arena, but it looks like another fun one. So I like the Wampa one. I'm a bit annoyed because on my channel, I tend to run the Purple Wizard with the Wampa, and I'm so used to having like the two of them together. So it's just, I'm quite sad that we're now solo. So,
you lose something to gain something. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this about the Wampa Omicron. I think it's fantastic, but I mean, the higher you go, the less value it has, because like when you're someone, super high GP, you ain't. Wampa ain't gonna do damn thing for you. Maybe as a cleanup, but it's not a priority. It's just.
Well, they had the interesting thing where the wording in the game was at 50%, but the kit was announced at 75, and it shows 75, which always to me means that they changed it at the last minute.
No, there was just a boo-boo on that one. That one was it was supposed to be. They even rose that it was supposed to be. They said it'll be 75. They just, for some reason, it translated. It went to 50, and it was not supposed to be that way, because I tested it at 75, and we were all a little like, huh? What the hell's going on here?
I'm super interested about just what it can solo.
Quite a lot, actually. I mean, it can do a lot of good stuff, and I mean, it's one of those Omicrons, especially if you're just like beginning upper GP or upper high echelon, GAC and down. It can really get you some nice banners and stuff, because unlike I'm like 8.3, almost 8.4 million GP, and I'm Kyber 1. I ain't going in there against C with old Wampa or something. Those are the teams I'm facing. That dog ain't gonna run, boy. Let me tell you. But I think everybody else, that you have those teams that are just, they're not complete, they're not geared, and you're just begging if you have the Omicron and Wampa to just get smoked, because it's a good Omicron.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I agree.
And I do like the cleanup teams, and Iden obviously has moved from maybe offense to defense at different stratas of the game, but I do think it's an interesting one. I think it's a fun one. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Who else? We got Calvin. Awesome. Joining us. What's going on, Big C?
Yo, what's up, nerds?
Getting our weeb status updated here by Calvin Austin. What's going on, man?
No, I'm good. Good to be here. You're already on the GAC Omicron. I just killed a Wampa in whatchamacallit in the bounty hunter thing. But yeah, things are going great. Finally getting some YouTube content out. Things are good.
Yay! I always tell people, if you're gonna look at GAC stuff, a couple of people I recommend is, of course, Playbook, because he's goddamn machine. The other one that's a goddamn machine from the future is Calvin Austin. You should check out his stuff too, especially when it comes to GAC. God, ridiculous. Hell yeah. So make sure you check out those videos and stuff. There's a lot of great content out there that people do for different stuff. I mean, and you can find anybody like Mr. Jig when it comes to, I always tell people, hey man, if you want the best way to do the cam mission, go check out Jig, or if you want Conquest, you can go check out Skeltrix. There's just lots of great content creators that do videos and stuff, so we are blessed to have all these people doing awesome stuff. So check out Calvin's stuff, check out everybody's stuff here. All right, what I'm going to do is we already got some questions coming in, so let's just cover some of the topics that I wanted to hit. So let's just get into it and get your questions coming in, and we will talk about it. So let me pull this up and get this. Nightbot's fighting me, so don't fight me, Nightbot. We're friends. We've been friends a long time. Let's get through this. All right, so the first question I see is from Ghost Strike. Make sure that is absolutely the right. Let me go through and make sure that's the correct order of questions. No. Why did it not pick up? Let me refresh it. Because that's what I was. This is what Nightbot does. I don't know why it does this. Where I know I saw a question, then I'm just checking. Yeah, it didn't. It missed. I missed my girl Jeanette Baker's question first. Right to Ghost Strike. All right, so Nightbot's already crapping the bed. Oh, she put questions instead of question. Don't put questions. Put question. That's why. The word question. The questions. That's why. But I got you, Janet. I got you. So she says, first, did you see Arnold stream using the echelon with first order to be executor, and was it working as intended or get nerfed? Second, how's the hot pizza feeling today? I've passed all the hotness out of my body, so I'm okay with that. As you guys know, the skewers ordered me a pizza with lots of jalapenos and everything, and of course I had to add the hot sauce to it. So very much a very spicy night that on Wednesday, and it when you eat a lot of hot food, there's nothing like rinsing your mouth out with bourbon to really accentuate the burn. So yeah, no, I'm totally fine on that, Jeanette. But is first order echelon working as intended? As far as I know, yes, it's working as I tested it. The counter's kind of just a step above malevolence. It's not a guarantee by anything. I mean, I'm just being real with you guys. Executor is still the meta, but it's a pretty good counter to the Executor. It comes down to relics and things of that nature, right, on those ships. And RNG. I don't care. You can have the best counter in the world. I've done it many times where the Illuminati's watching you and you basically get that one dodge you don't need, right? And that's the way the First Order fleet does. I'm sure many of us have gone in there and like, all right, there's rebels. Let me just do the move. All right, hit. Wait, dodge. Oh, no.
Yeah, at least in ships, that is very so much true.
Yeah, I think the AI has the advantage, but yeah, it's working as intended as I tested it, and the way I'm seeing it being done. I didn't see the Arnold stream, but I don't know if you guys did. But any thoughts?
I saw parts, but yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Calvin, what do you think of the echelon so far?
It's really good, but I think you already hit the nail on the head. It's just like a half step or a step above malevolence counter. It's not a guaranteed one shot. It is something you can try. And one of the things that I liked about it the most is it looks like it's a guaranteed two shot, because I think we've all had a battle before where we go in with Malevolence and TIE Fighter pilot. You don't get the mark on Xanadu Blood.
Yep.
And then after that, the Razor Crest dodges enough to the point where you literally get 0 kills. And that sucks, because then it becomes really hard to two-shot something if you didn't even kill a single ship.
Yeah.
I think the First Order, it wasn't really doing that. The First Order was producing at least 1 kill. So it's a step in the right direction. I really didn't want it to one-shot Executor, like 100% consistently, just because balance reasons. But so I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah, and I was telling people that both the First Order fleet against Executor is much better. I mean, the resistance, you got like a slim chance to none on that fleet to beat Executor. But with the First Order, it does give you a much better chance of, if you're going to go in there, as you said, if not beat it, get the 2-shot. It depends on how everything plays out. But yeah, I mean, outside of that too, what I was telling folks too is that both the Resistance fleet and the new, First Order fleet with Echelon do quite well against Malevolence and Negotiators on defense too, which I'm seeing a lot more people putting down, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we still haven't even talked about the TIE Interceptor prototype that's going to be coming into the Chimera fleet for sure, as that reinforcement that does very, very well for that fleet. So, I mean, I had a lot of fun testing that ship out. That ship comes off the bench. It's like, wee. So we'll start getting that talked about soon. But no, I think that it's working as intended. I don't think there's any issues with the way this is performing so far. Do any of you guys disagree with that, or I think that's a fair assessment?
I think it looks great. I have to say. I think I tested it at 2 stars. I think I'm now currently 4 stars. The drop rate is much higher than the other one. So I think we estimated the drop rate of the other one about maybe 3%. This one's definitely higher, 4 if not even higher. So I'm getting lots of crystals of it. The ship is brilliant. A little bit of a PSA. It is possible that an opponent has that TIE interceptor next GAC week. I believe. Yep. It's not impossible. I only need 15 shards to unlock it. And
that's if you got the pack. If you got the pack of either this time or previously, you'll unlock it. Because like I was doing the math too. We're at 110 if you got the red crate. So if you get the pack, that's an additional 20. So that puts you at 130. If you get the purchases out of the store, that puts you at 150. That's if you didn't buy the pack previously. Like I didn't get the pack the $9.99 pack. And that puts you at 150 out of 145. That's a 5-star unlock right there.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 130 out of 145. So I only need to get to the middle of the 4th. Is it the 4th shop? The middle of the 4th tier.
Yeah, you'll get through sector 2, 3, and 4.
So I would say a bit of a PSA. It is possible people have it, so check their roster carefully come the HGAC week, because if it is on the bench and it is working as a reinforcement, you won't know. So it's a very interesting ship. It's going to be a very strange one, bit of a sleeper. So
you need to look out for it.
Yeah, I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing with ships at the moment. I think the 3 new ships look good. I think the echelon probably for me looks the best one so far, but I haven't really seen the TIE interceptor. But yeah, I'm loving the echelon. I did see a little bit of Arnold's stream. I love what he does. I love the way he goes through it. I love the way he's doing more testing at the lower stars. And everyone, it's a galactic chase, so just do it as much as you can. Yeah, do what you can and just enjoy it, because you're basically getting a 3-star for free, and it looks pretty legit.
Yeah, it's very legit. All right, let's get to our next question. Let's see here. Nathan H. Which characters do you believe are the most often poorly modded? It's quite a few. God, do we have time to go through them? Yeah, so you know me, I've done thousands upon thousands upon thousands of roster reviews and mini roster reviews. And remods and things of that nature. One of the things is GL's 2 big things that I see. Mismatch modding, where you're not using sets. You for certain reasons, you're just trying to make the character the fastest, but I think that hurts you long term more than anything, is not having those sets match, because you're not taking advantage, especially if you have like a crit damage set on somebody here with 2 of them. But then on the other one, you have just taken away from someone else. So I see that a lot. I think GLs get modded the wrong way sometimes. Again, you have to have it with a caveat, where sometimes people can only go with what they have, and I always try to be fair about that. But at this point, you have a pretty good idea of like what you should be aiming for with the GLs that we know work. And sometimes I see that happening. And then, examples of other characters, like people putting speed on Grandmaster Yoda. Like, no, don't put speed on Grandmaster Yoda. He doesn't need speed. The little bastard gets turn meter all the time every time he does 3 out of his 4 abilities. He needs to hit hard. It's stuff like that I see that is, people just that do have the mods but are just modding incorrectly like that. They put the wrong kind of set on. Certain characters need speed. Certain characters do not need speed. They just need offense, right? 3 examples of that is Gas, Luke, and Jedi Knight Luke and Grandmaster Yoda, just to throw it out there. Certain characters like Grievous need nothing but health, right? And your tanks, like Kenobi, for me, I'm not concerned about speed with General Kenobi. I'm just about his health and making him a beefy boy. So there's just certain types of modding that we see. I mean, I'm just throwing some generalized, examples of what I see when I'm looking at people's accounts and stuff. BCM, like you've been there when I'm doing mini
Yeah.
roster reviews and stuff. I mean, you can talk on this.
I mean, I even in looking at like my opponents in GAC and stuff like that, I tend to see a lot of older theories. I don't think people are keeping up. You see like like you said, Grandmaster Yoda with speed. Well, that was the case, a year or two ago, if not more. And then now, you want him for offense because you want him hitting. He's going to take those turns. So I see a lot of people, they like modded once off a video 2 years ago, and they haven't updated the change with new characters coming in and turn orders coming around. So I think that's the biggest thing. Along with and I'm guilty of this too, chasing a wrong mod and then just ending up going with it because you don't have the mats to change it. So like you might have been chasing speed and you never hit it, but then you 6-dotted it and it's like, well, I got to use it anyways. And on top of that, I think farming in general, I think people slack on. And again, I'm guilty of this too. They just don't have the mods to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Or at least efficiently.
Yeah. Sinfly, what do you notice? I'll save Callum for last year on this.
It was what BCM was saying about changing metas and all. I mean, the move now towards a fat cat. Instead of whereas before the modding was different, so now everybody's putting Commander Ahsoka Tano under that specific Padme team. You want to have her very high health, make her really hard to kill, whereas that wasn't the case maybe 3-4 weeks ago. So even it's not always as long as maybe two years ago. It's sometimes even just a month ago. So it's that. I think for fairness, I think it is when the meta's changing or the composition of the team's changing. And people are matching the team, but not necessarily matching the modding. But I am nowhere near anywhere as good at modding as the rest of these other 3 people. So just to move away.
Well, Calvin, your thoughts on this? Because it's a pretty broad subject. We can talk about this one for, Jesus Christ, a couple hours about modding. But just in general sense, what are the things, some of the faux pas or things that you see with modding from people or opponents, or any examples? I mean, what are some of the things you notice?
Too much of I got speed and I'm going to call it good. I see a lot of opponents that either, like you were saying, they put speed sets on characters that should have offense sets. I think the biggest 2 are CLS and Ray. I see a lot of people have speed sets of them, just kind of a waste. And the other big thing that I'll see often is just a lot of players that will get enough speed on a character and they will not pay attention. They'll pay attention a little bit to the sets, but they won't do the primaries. I had this a little while ago. This is really weird. Fighting up against someone who had an SKR team with a lobster on there, and he had the correct set. He had like an offense set. He had a decent speed secondaries, which kind of doesn't need. But on top of that, all of his primaries were like defense protection. Like, actually, that's not a terrible example because Jedi Luke actually ruins that. But this was a time before that was normal, so it was just one of those things like where and then his entire roster was like this. He got good like 15 speed mods on each character, but at the end of the day, they weren't doing everything else they needed to do. I think B1 and Grievous were also like that. Like it was just bad.
Yeah, and we always talk about this. Modding. You can have all the characters that are Relic 7 and 8 and 9 that you want. Another thing is people get ahead of their mods. We see that with a lot of accounts where, especially people that they'll well out and get all these characters up and running, but they won't have the mods to match. And it's kind of like the character doesn't really do anything for you at that point, because if you don't have the mods to take advantage of the relic level in the character that you have, then you're kind of hurting yourself. So it does help to sometimes slow down and let your mods catch up a little bit. I always talk about when you're working on a team, not just the gear in the relic levels, but those mods are important. Make sure you've got at least a decent mod set with the right idea. Maybe you can't slice them to 6E to 6A right off the bat, but if you can get at least the mods on there, at least 5A, where they've got the secondaries you want. You still don't know what you're going to hit when you slice them to 6E and up, right? But at least you've got those mods at least on the character when I remod somebody's account. Most of the time, that's what I'm doing. I get the primary characters squared away, but there's a lot of characters on the team that, I just get the mods that you would want on there. And hey, if they hit, perfect. If not, then maybe we shuffle the mods around again once you've done all the slicing. And it's good to, when you're working on a character in mods, like when you guys see me doing the lunch stream, I always have characters that are on my favorites list. Some are there because I'm farming stars, right? Like Iden and Gear. I'm just trying to get them relicked. Some are there because I'm working on their modding. I'll usually have one character, like right now I'm doing Fennec Sean to get her mods to 6C. Starkiller I have there because I'm trying to get his mod sliced because I want that extra offense and damage that I want on him. And if I can hit speed on those mods, hey, all the better. I mean, the sooner he goes, better. But I mean, those are two examples of two characters that I'm working on simultaneously. One to get 6C, and the other one that's 6C to get the slices on the sets. And so if you kind of look at your characters and the teams that you're working on that way, it'll get you more focus. People ask all the time, do I pull mods or do I slice mods? You can do both in the same day. You can have one round of energy where you slice mods and just get slicing materials, plus the slicing materials you get from the Galactic challenges and other things that you do for the events, and then pull mods. But you're going to reach a point, if you do that all the time, where you're going to have a lot of mods in your inventory. Slice them. It's better to know what they are and get them out if they don't hit what you need than keep them in your inventory, because people run out of space all the time because they have all these mods that they can go back and work on them. And then once you reach,
I'm guilty of it.
Yeah, and once you reach a certain point, if you got a buttload of mods, like just to give you an example, speed mods that have like 10 to 17 speed and they're 5A, especially the ones that are like 12 to 17, those are even better. Better example. You want those on characters, and then you just start going down the line and slicing them, because you don't know, they can still hit those speeds and get into the 20 range, and now you've got another mod that's 20 speed. So it's good to get those on the characters that you're working towards, because they're decent secondary speeds. They can get some of those other secondary characters really fast and modded well. Yeah. It doesn't mean you're going to stick with that, because they may not hit. You may roll them up and be like, God damn it, I didn't hit speed on this sucker at all. But if it does hit, then maybe you move out to another character, move another piece down, and vice versa. So there's a lot to modding, but in just general sense, those are some of the things. Your GLs, please look at what you need to be doing for your GLs. Calvin bring point Ray. No, there's two ways to do Ray. Either she's super, super beefy and you're trying to time out somebody, right? You're not worried about her damage, but you have to go crazy with the health and stuff on that. It's a strat. That's not my favorite strat, but it is something that people do. The other one is offense and making her hit like a damn truck. And that's what you see people do. See, health.
Yeah.
You just want health mods on him. You don't have to worry about speed or anything. Kyle is one of the ones that's a little different than everybody else. You can go speed set, right? With about 11,500 damage is what you're shooting for, where he's fast and he hits hard. Or you go heavy offense, where it's like mine, almost 14,000 offense, with about 500 to 520 speed on him. Lord Vader and JML are two I see mismodded all the time. JML, for the love of Christ, put protection on him. Health sets are fine, but put protection as the primary stat. Why? If you read his kit, that protection translates to the other Jedi and what they're doing in that team. You really got to have, I say the minimum threshold is right around 100,000 at Relic 7. As you get to Relic 8 and 9, and he's one of the few characters that I do recommend people to take Relic 9.
He's number one.
Yeah, I mean, he is so ridiculously good with that boost at Relic 9. That's why I'm doing that right now. And then Lord Vader, 100,000 health, 200,000 protection, just what you want, and you want the damage to be around 11k or above on the secondaries, which you can do. It's quite easy to hit those two numbers and then still have the damage, because Vader's not going to hit that hard until he gets ramped up. So you want him to be beefy, but some offense on him until he do some damage. But I mean, he's a ramp up character, so. Those are some of the prime examples that I see. JMK's easy; it's just speed. If you don't have speed on him, I don't know what you're doing.
Even then, like JMK is super forgiving. Like I have I have a tenacity.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be crazy. Yeah, it doesn't have to be crazy speed, but I mean, I've seen people put offenses on them. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I have a
I mean,
tenacity set. Not a tenacity set, but a tenacity primary on him, and it literally changes his performance.
Oh, sure.
Nothing compared to like an offense primary. Like he is, out of all 6 GLs, he's the one that you can kind of screw around with the most, and it will least impact your experience.
Absolutely. So that's just some of the stuff we see from modding. So hopefully that gives you some sense about modding, so we could be on this subject forever. But forget that shit. Look who it is. It's the world famous Kate Gaming. Holy crap.
Hey guys.
Well, hello, Miss Kate Gaming. It's been a while.
I know.
What's new in your world?
Life's been crazy. That's about it. Finally not working insane amount of overtime and all better from COVID. So
Yay! We're just talking about modding right now there, Kate Gaming.
I know. I'm like, I'm joining at my least favorite part.
Well, we'll let her drink some tea and then we'll get to the next question. All right. So I think we've beaten the mod stuff to death. All right. Next question. Nathan H says, question, what is your favorite C comp for GAC? Offense or defense? I think offense, we all kind of agree that you can run a couple comps, right? You go C Watt is the most popular one. Sometimes you throw armor. I usually go just C armor. I barely use, because I use Watt somewhere else. It's interesting. I'm starting to see more C's on defense. I put C on defense with Malik and a couple other characters. I don't have it in front of me right now. You guys see anything else with C? I mean, the offense speaks for itself. I don't think we need to talk about what you use for C on offense. Do you add anything, though, to that? Do you just, depending on the team, do you just go C Watt or do you go C Watt armor? What do you guys like to do with C?
C Watt and a tank if like I'm going against like a R9 Ray or something.
Okay. That's legit. Anybody else?
Build in some buffer.
Yeah.
I don't have them.
Okay.
My armor is only like G7 or G8.
How dare you?
So I actually, and I love to use what elsewhere. So I've been running C armorer with Sith Empire Trooper, and Thrawn and things like that, just to kind of pass it round. And I think he even tossed Talon in, and it kind of worked. My C is only R6 as well, so it's a bit of a sketchy one, but Armorer does manage to dodge somehow, and we managed to get the 3 best cars or 2 best cars on. But yeah, I tend to always use C on offense because it just has a good utility. You know, it'll get rid of a Qui-Gon Jinn as a solo. It'll get rid of Rey in that comp. It just kind of works. It gets rid of a lot of stuff. It'll get rid of a gas pretty easily as well. So yeah, I like C on offense for the variety of things that will counter at my level.
The issue with C on defense is really like it's an easier GL to beat. Like you could just use Maul Mandos, or you could just solo with C or Slacker. Like really any solo is gonna get taken out because it can't reach ult.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the team that I've been using it on defense, and I've got Malik, and I can't remember. I have to go look it up right now.
Probably like Malik, Darth Revan, all that.
No, Darth Revan's on.
No?
Malik alone ruins every single off meta counter.
Yeah, that's why I put it.
You can't use Mandos. You can't use Grievous.
Yeah,
you
can't use Troopers. So if you're in a big like dogfight where each of you put like 4 to 6 GLs on defense, and you throw that down, it's a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah. You have to use a GL against it, which I'm fine. I don't mind C getting its ass kicked by a GL, but it's the off-meta counters that I'm like, no, you ain't getting away with that nonsense. So I go C, Malik.
Yeah, because at a certain point, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think the other 3 I put in there just for the Sith bonuses, and it works really well, is Darth Sidious, Dooku, and Darth Maul in there. The dazes, the AoEs, the stuns, it can get really wonky. It really counters all the off meta counters that team can use, and Malik is the key there because he really just makes life hell on earth. So, but I mean, if they go in there with a C solo or SLKR, I'm like, okay, well, you use it there, you can't use it anywhere else. So that's my main point of doing it. But yeah, it can work on defense. And you know what I noticed this, Calvin, is that people put down Rey, but I mean, it's SLKR has more flexibility, in my opinion, on offense than C does, because SLKR can take out Rey. SLKR can take out Lord Vader. SLKR, and that's just first order. You don't even need like the dock of zombie cheese.
It's ugly.
But hey, one shot is a one shot. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm one shotting stuff, I just get more flexibility with SLKR on offense than I do C, because I can do the same kind of stuff with him and move him in anywhere I want for a lot of the GLs, and then I can with C. Like, one of the things I noticed, like I tried C against Lord Vader, it just doesn't work. It just was not doing what I wanted to do, because Lord Vader eventually he gets too ramped up. You can't take him out fast enough, and he just starts kicking the crap out of C. I don't know. What do you think, Calvin? We haven't heard from you yet.
What was the question?
Well, we're talking about C. C comps for GSC.
Yeah, no. Him on Malak on defense is completely viable depending on what your opponent's going to do. And as far as offense goes, I mean, everyone pretty much already said it. You have pretty much three options. You either put Watt in there, you put armor, maybe a tank if armor isn't fast enough to get ahead of, let's say, resistance or Finn or something like that. And the other option is just to put him with Junk's Sith on offense so that he can tank either the Whirlwinds or the AoE ability blocks, whatever's coming his way. If you need to put armor with, say, Mandos or in Watt with SKR or something to that extent. Yeah, but he's one of the very few characters. He still is not landed in like a full synergistic team. Like, I don't think he's going to. No. And that's more of a blessing than it is a curse, in my opinion, because he's not taking your whole Darth Revan team. He's not taking your whole Traya team. You can keep those teams intact and still have a good GL kill another GL.
It's Rey's the same way in that regard, where you don't have to go resistance with Rey to have a really dope ass team with her to do Rey stuff. She's pretty amazing.
Rey is.
Good.
It annoys me so much how many people like basically talk crap on Rey and like.
I'll talk crap on Rey all day.
There's so
I
many.
still haven't unlocked Rose.
She's so good.
There's so many.
I'm working on a Rose for the
use.
ship right now.
There's so many comps for Rey you can use, like offense and defense. She's a great GL.
She's a great GL, but actually the Radis might be changed now. But my big thing that I hate on Rey all the time for Rey is great. She's definitely not even the worst GL out of the six. She's probably more middle tier. But her Rex for the longest time just sucked butt. Like, so little value you get
suck,
for one
but
character.
they're cheap. They're cheap, and you get 2 full teams out of them.
I would say you don't. I would say you get one. And if you put that with Rey, you just got one team.
I think it depends.
For Relic in 13.
Well, yeah,
it depends where you're at in the game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Because you can go Rey with some characters like Holdo and tanks and like throw R2 in there for the number crunch and some tanks, and then that she gets that boost, right? And then you still have the JTR team with BB-8, the Purse Bros, and stuff like that. So it depends. And people forget about the Viagra brothers, old Vet Han and Vet Chewie.
Oh
yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
I've got a couple of holds already this week from like just an OG Finn lead with the two of them on there.
Han's annoying.
So yeah, I mean, people forget just how hard those characters hit, and so I think I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Kate and Calvin, if that's not an oxymoron, is that I love Rey too. She was always my first GL. I think she is a lot better than people give her credit for. And I think if you're modding her right with offense, she traps a lot of people into 1 or 2 counters. And yeah, I like her. I love anything in the game that has good utility, which I think Rey does. And yeah, I think you are able to find my GTR now lives with my Rey. So I'm now running Rey with GTR, but I still have a Finn-led, pretty solid team that gets some holds every so often. So yeah, there's a couple of good teams in there.
All right, let's get to the next question, and we knew this one was coming. Darsign 1972, why did CG move the shipments? I hate it. Luckily, I haven't wasted any crystals, but people in my guild have and had to get crystal refunds. All right, we already know that this is a subject. I've already said what I thought about it, right? And CG made a post about it last night, so I'll give my 2 cents, and then I'm gonna let the panel give their 2 cents. Initially, CG did say that they were going to make changes to the store, but they weren't specific. They didn't say when they were doing it, and they needed to better communicate. So that's on CG. Little onus on the players. Just don't be clicking stuff. I understand it's habit. You just get into the mode. Cool. Accidents happen, right? We've all made boo-boos. I'm Stark-led junkie ranger here. So we've all made
Echo lead bad batch.
Yeah, let's not relive horrible moments. You misclick.
Done it before, and I'm like, why are they doing?
Why is this? I don't understand. Why is this not working? So yeah, no harm, no foul. The reason I got upset was because Wednesday night this happened and I was getting bombarded, and I'm like, well, no, just go get your refund and you should be cool. But EA was like, no, we ain't getting refunds. So I was like, oh hell no! Customers make mistakes all the time where they have remorse or anything like that. Your policy should be to give refunds. So I was glad to see by the time I woke up the next day that was the thing, that they were giving refunds for one-time refund for that. And CG has said that they are, for that specific day, March the 2nd, if you did a boo-boo, you get your crystals back, which I think is the absolutely right move. So that's that part. Why CG did it, they have their reasons. A lot of people hate it. I could care less. It doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, I'm not bothered by it. It's intended to focus on stuff, and it really does, because I've been working religiously and need a lot of them, furnaces. So every time the thing refreshes, two things that I need is the med packs and the furnaces. They're right there, and it's specific. I can tell that they're like, no Royal Ranger needs those, so here's a little bit of crystals for those specific kind of items that you're needing right now. The character shards are the character shards. I could care less. None of those, I need any of those, but I've got most of the characters done, or much all of them done at 7 stars. So, other than the new characters, but I'm not too bothered by it. If you are, hey, I get it. It's cool. It doesn't, for me, I'm just saying it doesn't bother me. But I have to scroll down 2 lines to find the credit purchases, which I'm used to getting for the salvage, which you need. But yeah, I mean, it all kind of worked out. I think the lessons here is be careful what you click on if you're a player, right? Just, you gotta pay attention. But when you've been doing something for 5 years, it's understandable that you would make a mistake. CG needs to be more specific about not just saying something they're going to change the store, but say what you're changing, when you're changing it, and give people a heads up so you can avoid something like this in the future. And EA, don't just be your first response saying, hey, no, you're not getting crystals back. That was just absolutely poop. And I have examples of people saying, look, this is what EA told me. I'm like, God damn, they just said no right off. Damn. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. So those are my thoughts. Let's just go around the corn. We'll start with Kate Gaming. What did you think, Kate? Did it even get them on your radar? I mean, what do you think about all this?
It was a good thing I saw the warning before I went into mine refreshed. I still almost clicked it so much. And especially when you first wake up and you're like, let me just log on real quick and get my shipments before it flips over. Oh my God, I almost did it so many times.
It threw me off when I first saw it when it came out live. I was like,
I almost ended up with 16 Hux shards, and I'm like, oh.
I didn't click on anything because I thought I was in the wrong store. I started clicking around like, wait, what did I?
Visibly, it looks very different.
Yeah, it completely threw me off.
When it's 6:30 in the morning.
That's different.
Oh, I'm not saying you can't do it out of habit.
That's
if you're actually looking at your phone, which I don't sometimes, then you should see a difference. But you're definitely going to click it out of habit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was on my phone and I was like, wait a minute, I don't need Hux. What am
I doing? All right. Anybody else want to give your 2 cents on this? Okay.
Oh, I want to give more than my 2 cents. I have,
go ahead.
I have a whole bucket full.
Keep it under 5 minutes, Mr. Storyteller.
I will. Okay. I'll do the abridged.
The quib notes, please.
Okay.
So there was this beach, and
407 years ago.
There were 2 girls.
Oh God.
We're gonna skip the beach. All right,
we're getting right past the beach. Okay.
Firstly, okay, I did actually read I've started reading their update notes now for absolutely no reason that I really understand, but I've started reading it because very often that's where they've been putting weird little subtle nerfs or little subtle stuff. So I've started taking a lot more interest. So I actually saw in there that it was an intended change.
Yep.
They were a bit vague. They just said, oh, we're changing shipments. They didn't say the shipment store inside shipments. So we still don't know if this is the last one they'll change, because there is the shipments, but then this is the shipments tab. I think I lost 100 crystals. I'm not 100% sure, because like Kate, it was about 6 a.m. So I'm not sure. I think my biggest problem with it is why bother? You know, I mean, other than just to annoy everyone, it's like it's had zero effect because, look, if it was proccing characters I need. Now, my favorites are Bad Batch, my favorites are Iden, my favorites are Mara Jade. They're in the game as my favorites, right? If it moved their shards to the top, it would be a much larger chance I would buy those shards. So if the intention of this is to tempt people with something that they want, it's in the game programming to say, oh, here's a favorite that you don't have at 7 stars. Let's put that. But no, it's giving me L3 that I've had at 7 stars. So their comment about giving level-based suggestions is nonsense. It's not giving. I think if you're over 6.5 million, it should be giving you the new characters up there.
See, it's been doing that for me. It's been giving me Iden and stuff like that. I had like double places where I had Iden and stuff. I don't know, but everyone's gonna be different, so fair.
I think that's kind of so. I like the so I have. They're obviously trying to tempt you with something you want.
Oh yeah, man, are you kidding me?
At the moment, I'm getting rubbish. I'm not getting anything suggested up there that I would ever want. So it's just a bit annoying. It just annoys me when I think we're all excited about the road ahead. We're excited about so many other stuff going on. Why muck about with the store? It's like, don't do that. Just do something, you know, take the week off. That was that. It annoyed me.
Okay.
Fair
enough. Fair enough.
Just the pointlessness of it. I almost wish we'd go to one store. You know, like
hell no, man. Oh hell no.
All these thousands of tabs.
Oh my god. I'd lose my mind if I had to go one-stop shopping for everything.
Especially on BlueStacks where it's really hard to scroll down.
Oh god.
Maybe not one store, but the level of places you
Amazon
need to go.
Prime SWGOH.
It's just awful. Yeah, I think that's my main problem with the game is at the moment the number of packs it tries to push me that I've already got the characters at 7 stars, the number of things. I wish there was a way they could just delete those and give me less stuff that I'm more tempted about. And that's what I really hoped when I read their update saying, oh, we're going to start giving you stuff or suggesting stuff that is needed at your level. I thought, well, fantastic. I'm now going to be getting bombarded with stuff I might not want, and I'm not going to miss something that I might buy. But no, it's just pushing more stuff I already have at 7 stars, and it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if the coding's broken on it and it's not picking me up correctly. I don't know. But just the pointlessness of it. And again, anytime they change anything involving crystals, I don't know why they should have huge warnings on it. They should be telling everybody months in advance. They should be making it in big banner ads on the things, because it was always going to result in people accidentally clicking it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't watch these things that don't know how to get
they don't read the forums.
Yeah.
It had to be in the game. Yeah, it should have been like the little lady popping up saying, hey, we made a change here. Just make you know, it's that, you know, little pop up, you know, like, hey, before you go click it in here, just a friendly reminder, something like that. It would have been.
Yeah, you've got less than 2,000-3,000 crystals, and they're valuable, but you've got 150,000 you got 150,000 ship mats. Do you really want to use this high value ship mat? Yes, I do. You know, like we've got all these other warnings in there. They could have. Anyway, that's me happening. Annoyed me.
I mean, the warning pop up does pop up. It's like, are you sure you want to buy that? And people just click on it because they're just used to it.
Yeah,
that's what stopped me. Is I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to spend crystals on that.
That's exactly what stopped me. I was like, wait, Hux? Like what?
Hux. Anybody else? Calvin, any thoughts on this?
I mean, I fall somewhere in the middle. I think I agree most with Alex of like, number one, why bother?
Sure.
Especially they've done this kind of crap before, and it's always gone poorly. Like when they moved when they moved the Bronzium, that was even a good thing because it made it more convenient for us in the long run. But yeah, like the PR that this is going to get versus the amount of crystals they're going to make off of this is abysmal. Like this was just dumb. I personally don't care. Someone told me about it right before. I haven't burned any crystals, but it's just one of those things. I'm like, you were doing so good. Why was this? Why this is not going to
there's
change
people
your
who's
revenue
gonna
that
play
much.
the system too and be like, oh well, I mistakenly bought these shards that I need and I want a refund. There's gonna be those
the amount of people that can actually do that are very few because they're only allowing it for the day of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can only do it for
So
March
if after they sent it, if you went and did it today, they'd just be like,
No, Mr. Darth, you buy. No.
just dumb.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. Make sure you guys can close the top of the hour. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. It does help with the video and getting our content out there. If you like what you see, feel free. You can leave comments or ask questions. It's all, as long as it's constructive. You know my policy. I don't mind conflict as long as it's constructive. If you just want to be an ass clown, I just go delete. I don't even think about it. I still sleep the same. But everything else is fair game. So hit that thumbs up, and after the video, if you want to ask questions or put comments in there, you're more than welcome. Very much appreciated. All right, let's get to the next question. All right. Let's see here. Well, Jack Daniel says, question, are the characters added to the top somehow more appropriate for players at level 85 than those below 85? Just trying to find any legitimate rationale for rearranging Shipment store. It's just marketing 101. You know, as everyone said, it's to tempt you, Frodo, right? And it's very specific. I know it is very specific for me because it's doing the bronzing wires, the golden furnaces, and the med packs are very much shit that I need. And then I've been getting Iden and stuff in there, so I'm like, yeah, a little bit, little devil on the shoulder for me. Now it could be different for everybody else, but there's method to the madness, method to the madness. But they're not going to break it all down for you, so we'll just leave it as a mystery, I think. But we've talked about that ad nauseum. Sword of the Jedi question. What are the odds that the new First Order ship gets nerfed? None. I don't think it's getting nerfed at all. I think it's working as intended. We talked about this earlier. I don't know if Calvin, I think you were here. Kate, have you seen... I'm trying to remember. Calvin.
I've not seen either ship in action.
Okay. All right. Calvin, I think you talked about Echelon. You were here when we were talking about that, weren't you? Because I think we talked about this
Yeah,
earlier.
I was there,
Okay,
yeah. Because we saw the testing and it was one of those things where everyone went in Discord and they're like, oh no, just one-shot Executor with First Order. And then you go to watch the replay and he one-shot it after 10 fails. Yeah. It wasn't like a guaranteed win. It has legs. But I don't think a nerf is warranted. I think they would only really do a nerf if A was warranted, or B it was defending against Executor on defense. That would be the real problem.
Right. And it ain't defending against Executor on defense. I'll tell you that much right now. Contract all 4 power on the the slicer.
And this almost seems intentional. I almost want to pull this up right now. The dev insights for the Echelon, they specifically mentioned in there that A, they gave it a pilot so that it couldn't be ignored by the bounty hunter ships, and B, they gave it stealth so that Razor Crest couldn't mark anyone. Right. So they wanted to be viable against Executor in some way, shape, or form. Probably not a one shot, I'm guessing. But it would be really weird to nerf it now that it's doing what it seems like it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Darsign 1972 question. How much longer will Executor be the meta ship? I saved mine for offense on GAC, and I'm tired of being more efficient on the ground, only to lose on RNG and Executor. It costs me crystals. I wouldn't get your hopes up anytime soon, Darsign. I'm just going to throw that out there. Until I see a change in attitude with ships. We're starting to get more ships in, so let's see what plays out. But, I mean, I don't know the rest of the panel fields. I don't think Executor's going anywhere for the time being. Ships is a lot slower to change its meta than say the troopers on the ground are. I don't know how the rest of the panel feels, but I don't see any hope.
We had the negotiator for about a year, so I think we've got another 6 months at least. And they might change it. I think the Executor launch was actually quite good for them. But that's another capital ship, so they've got an awful lot of filling in of actual ships before they get to another capital ship. So I don't know. We'll see. If they launch another 5 or 6 ships in the next 3-4 months, then we might see another capital ship. But I think we're stuck with Executor for at least till Christmas, and I think we'll start to see a rock paper scissors meta maybe start to come in. We're starting to see that a little bit with Malevolence and the Negotiator. We might start seeing the First Order. So I think we'll see more of a rock paper scissors development rather than just there being a single meta in the future for ships.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see. As I said, I've always said that ships are the redheaded stepchildren of the child of CG, and I can say that because I am a redheaded stepchild, so I can call it as I see it. I have experience in this. Let's see here. Next question. Nathan H has question: to be one or not to be one? That is the question. Be one. Just use him. He's good, please, and just be one. You know, Nathan H. Stop. Get out of here. Darstein 1972 question: GAC seems very still. It's the same teams over and over again. While I do not 3v3 for the panel, how could or should CG fix GAC? I don't know. GAC for me is never still. There's always, especially, it depends on where you're at in GAC.
This last month, every week was different.
Yeah, go ahead, Calvin.
Like new Omicron. Like Iden came to the game, completely turned it upside down because it redid how you had to do everything.
Yeah.
Like I was setting JMK Padme every time. Like, oh, the new counter to this is Pad Batch. So then that one piece moved everything around that. Before that, we got Dash.
Yeah.
Talon being a thing, having a little bit of feed versus Lord Vader. Like the way to not keep it stale is to keep throwing in characters
and Omicrons
that don't necessarily beat GLs, but mix up the rest of it. Because if you need 22 teams, GLs are only 6 of those.
Yep.
I think what they're doing has been that. I think if they go any farther, they're going to get more backlash. Like I would really, really, really like to see a new map as a competitive player. I think that would be very.
I agree.
Cool. But I can already see. I love my games, but I can already see like some of the kind of casual-ish players, and like I already didn't like this game mode. Now there's an entire layer of difficulty on top of it that I have to learn. If they're going to do this, I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like they have to balance mixing it up and while not putting too much strain on all the players.
I agree. I mean, I was talking about this with Thing the other day that, you know, another zone or changing up the zones instead of being the way they are now, maybe change it to where different levels, another level instead of just 2 and 2, go maybe 3, 1, 2, or something like that, and mix up how many teams you have to have in each one. Something along those lines, or a 3 and a 3, right? Where ships is like in the middle or something. It's just something like that along the lines where you can, if you want to keep the same amount of teams, sure, but mix it up like 3 here, 3 there, 3 in the front, 4 in the back, 2 ships, or, you know, something along those lines. That could really mix it up. I think you have a really good point there, Calvin. But I don't think it's stale at all. I mean, it keeps changing. The Omicrons are changing. Yeah. The Omicrons have made a big change in teams and stuff.
Huge.
I think where it might get stale is the lower GPs, because we are all of us on this panel are in Kyber. And so we're fighting rosters that are constantly changing. Strategies are constantly changing.
Sure.
But if you're stuck down in like Bronzium or, you know, Chromium and stuff, there might be different rosters. But I'm sure the lower end of the spectrum, the lower GP players are still facing the standard Phoenix teams and Bears and car teams. And so I can see how newer accounts won't have these characters at these levels that are viable to face. And on top of that, they're only running 4 teams or 5 teams. I mean, we have, like Calvin said, we have 22 teams in Kyber. So yeah, we are going to see the mix up, at least in the lower Kyber divisions and even the upper Kyber divisions, because you have the options to do that and, you know, throw wrenches into the system and stuff like that. But if you only have 6 teams, and that's the majority of like the Bronziums, you only have those 6 teams, you're constantly going to be facing the same thing. And I think that's what, you know, even in GAC before, we were starting to run into those same teams where you're always going to face a GG, you're always going to face a Padme, you're always going to face a, you know, you name the standard squad. Whereas now with the new characters and the higher up GPs, we can get to those new characters and start throwing wrenches in the system.
And that's a fair point, because before they did the GC changes and started to add omicrons and things of that nature, I mean, we all know, we all were religiously doing GC, but even 3v3 had a meta. I mean, it didn't change. It was the same thing. Oh, look, it's CLS, Chupio, and 3PO. Oh, no, what am I going to use? I've never seen that team before. Oh, look, it's a Ray. It's like, but now with all the dynamics.
It did take a while to get there, though. Like, that wasn't overnight.
No.
Like, it took a few seasons before we got the meta in there.
But yeah, once it hit, man, it hit.
Oh, yeah, it was the same as 5v5. Like, the traditional teams were the traditional teams.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, oh, look, a Newt lead B1, B2 teams. Shocking, you know? I mean, but now with 5v5, I think a couple things of GAC with the changes. One, more people play it, so they're trying to do, before you could get into tons of GAC matches where they just didn't give a shit. They just were there, get what they could. They would auto deploy or just go FUD. They didn't care, right? I mean, it was nothing of real value was there for them. Now it's crystals, and so people are taking a lot more seriously. And the other thing is that dynamic of omicrons. I cannot express how much that has changed. How your normal, like if this was like a normal GSC, I agree 1,000%. We would still be doing the same counters, like, oh look, it's Ray, let me use this, you know. But now with omicrons, you have to really think about it, like with Qui-Gon and Zam and now Iden and some of this other stuff in GAC. I mean, Star Killer is a huge game changer in my opinion in GAC. Even Dad Bod Boba Fett. I used Dad Bod Boba Fett Fennec against Lord Vader, and I don't have the team fully relicked where I want it. I have to take Fennec to 7 and get her 3 more mods sliced. Damn near took that thing out, and I don't have it where I need it to be. So I think there's more diversity. There's more teams. It's a lot more fun. I'm enjoying it, trying to think of what each counter to use. But then again, I think you make a great point, BCM. You know, Kate, you're back. I mean, you have a lower GP account, right? Do you think at your level, I don't know what your original, I know you've got the newer account that's got the higher GP, but for the lower end, do you find GAC boring or stale?
I mean, I'd like a switch up. I personally would like to go back to 3v3s.
How dare you?
It's something different. I want a little bit of a change up. Stale? No, I am constantly out GP, out GL'd. I'm learning a lot of off-meta counters very quickly because I need to use them. So stale? No, but in a way, because it's like I'm seeing the same exact comps. There's no variety. I want to change. It's not boring by any means, but it's just, it needs a switch up. Okay. If that makes sense.
No, makes total sense. There you go.
I agree. I do kind of. We talked extensively last week about this, and there is a danger that GAC not today is stale, but it's not stale today because they're launching new stuff. We're getting new omicrons, we're getting new characters, we're changing this, we're changing this. So I think Darth Cyan might be. So whereas I wouldn't say it was stale or very stale, but it could head that way if we don't keep getting this constant influx of new stuff to change. On this week, last week, obviously, I patented the new 3v3 map, which I think is my entire solution to GAC, which I think would be, I hope that they're working on it. I hope that's the kind of thing they do, because I think we need a long-term solution to GAC, not we'll keep it fresh by, here's a new Omicron this week, here's another one next week, here's another next week. I think we do need to find a more permanent solution to blocking a zone, blocking ships. Yeah, so yeah, 3v3 for me.
We also haven't had 3v3 in months. Like, I don't even think I've done 3v3 since I got the bigger account. Like, I haven't done it once with that account.
You're not going to get it anytime soon there, Kate. I hate to tell you.
That's depressing.
Well, by 3v3, what I mean is, a map that is 9 zones, 3 at the front, 3 deep, and have a totally new map where you can't, whereas at the moment we're a 2x2 zone, we move to a 3x3, and then it just has less teams, and you just have more choices about where you could go.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind a new map at all. Like, we've had the same map for how many years? I would not mind at all. Switch up. Just don't add in that third fleet. Like, don't listen to Thane.
Yeah, don't listen to Thane. Yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. All right. Ice House question: does the AI always bring in TIE Interceptor as a first reinforcement? So the AI prioritizes how much damage has been done to the team. I noticed this in not specifically for TIE Interceptor, but like when I'm doing, I'm climbing ships, I'm going executor versus executor. If you've done a lot of damage to a ship and it's about to die, usually Boba Fett comes in. If not, and depending on like if I brought in, which I always do, pita bread, and get the buff, then it brings in IG on it, right? I never see it bringing anything else. It just depends. The AI is really wonky with this stuff. Does it always bring a TIE Interceptor? No, I'd say no. It just depends. If you got a tank on there, it'll throw it off and just say, "Oh, you're in big trouble. I better bring in a tank." That's just the way. Am I missing something here? That's the way I've always seen the way it works. All right, the panel agrees. All right, moving on.
It's a computer. I have
no.
Varth, it's all random anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Varth Daters' question: what are the best teams for Omicron Wampa to solo? Best cleanup? Lots.
Is the Wampa Omicron, do we say if it's worth it or not?
Anything?
I haven't seen it in action.
Depends on your level.
Yeah. Anything?
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the big thing, but like, is it really doing much more than it was before?
I would imagine it has to.
Yeah, it is.
It looks really good. Like if you're not in K1 or maybe K2, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So like what level teams is it taking out though?
But you could beat a whole like the normal good Newt team, like Newt, Nest, Dooku, Droideka, something like that.
Yep.
We don't know actually, because Ranger might, but like none of us have actually seen it. But there's no I can't think of a reason why it should lose to that.
No, it does quite well as say Kyber 3 and down, right? If you got those, especially those teams that are just not geared or low relics, it does quite well. But above that level, you just don't get the value out of it, because what are you going to solo? What the hell are you going to clean up? Oh, I've got 6 GLs on defense. Well, let me just go use Wampa. Hell no.
Shouldn't it clean up C? Like I don't think there's any reason why it should lose the 1v1 or win the 1v1.
It just depends on what's left on that team. If there's another character there and he say, you can't get to C right away, it could get a little wonky. But yeah, I mean, it might have its moments, but am I going to waste an Omicron of that? And if I'm in K2 or K1 when I've got Iden and some of these other ones sitting there, I'm just saying, so. Oh yeah,
Iden, Qui-Gon Jinn, Dash, Starkiller, and Zam are all above in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. But if you're like K3 or lower, I'm just using that as kind of a point to look at. You can get some nice value out of that damn Omicron, in my opinion. So if you've got it,
I'm in K3, so maybe it's one I got to look at, because I am in a position with my account where I think I've hit that ceiling, and I need to utilize all the teams possible. But it's also like, do I want to use an Omicron on that?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
I agree. Darstein 1972 question: I'm at the point where I need to slice mods for new teams like Starkiller, Dash, etc. How often do you farm mods to keep up versus slicing mod? What's the best balance? You reach a point. I've reached a point of saturation. I don't need to be pulling new mods. I've got so many 14 to 17, or 13 to 17, 18, 19s that are on characters that I've got to slice. It's like I can spend the next 2 months slicing and not need to pull new mods. Plus, you get all the mods from the events and stuff. So I'm constantly getting mods in there. And I look in the store. The main thing I only look in the store now is for crosses and triangles. What a surprise. And they're never in there, and when I do get it and roll it never goddamn hits anything. It's annoying. But you have to make that assessment yourself. If you've got the sets and all your characters and you look at it and you're like, I just need to slice, then you probably need to spend a couple weeks slicing. I'm just saying. But if you're looking at some of your teams and you're like, damn, I don't have enough speed sets, you might want to pull speed sets. That's the easiest way I can say it. Anybody else got some tips on this?
T-Day
Sorry, I missed the question.
modding.
Say that again there, Kate.
T-Day modding.
T-Day modding.
On every T-Day, farm mods. On every non-T-Day, farm slicing material.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
When did Jigabate get here?
I know. That's where I learned it, Jig.
I know.
Look,
yeah,
that's like it's
That
a
is
great
such a jig thing.
idea. Like
I love it.
I mean, you can just do it on the
Honestly,
weekend. Like weekend, you get the mods on
Sure.
weekdays. You get
no,
slices of
T days
cereal.
I remember. Weekends I could have my days mixed up. T days, it's Tuesday, it's Thursday.
Is today Wednesday or Saturday?
Like,
What
today
about,
start with the
yeah,
T.
you could just
It
mod
also
or,
gives you a little bit of break. In
Yeah.
between,
you could,
like a
you
1
could
day
just
break.
farm mods on S days.
Well, there you go. See,
You could.
On S
And every other
days.
day you farm
S
materials.
day mod day.
But honestly, that's what I've been doing, especially with the smaller account I have, and it's made a huge difference. Like,
No.
and I go through the 50 refreshes every single day. It's made a huge difference.
yeah.
But I've also learned what to look for in mods, which
That's true. That does help
been
quite a
huge.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say, I don't know about Kate, but I know at least coming up into Kyber 3, I would say 90% of the people I face, their rosters have gotten well ahead of their mods, and a lot of them have maybe 1-2 characters that are above 300 speed.
oh yeah, I see that too.
And
And
I've
it's
got,
one of the only reasons I'm able to hang with them. Like, if you looked at my roster and the defense I set, I have no business going against the people I'm going against, but the people I'm going against, my mods are just better.
oh yeah, I mean, in my bracket right now, out of the 8 of us, I've got, I think it's like 13 plus 25 speed mods, and the closest one behind me has like 8, and everybody else is like 2, 3. One doesn't even have any. It's almost ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I see the same thing. Yeah.
All right. Darce9 1972. When will CG dress the next phase of gear? I can hear my character. I can hear my characters, but 1, getting them to gear 12 to 13 is a slog, and 2, I'm almost completely tapped out on gear to salvage. Well, we're all kind of in that boat. Calvin,
Yep.
me, and Aldous can talk about this. Holy shit! Why don't you do 6 GLs, the Executor, and then you do Star Killer? You gotta be a little tapped out on the old salvage there. And you know what I'm noticing too? It's just breaking my heart there, Calvin and everybody. I decided to do 2 Relic 9. It's free to play. Oh my god. Just those pieces you need, the furnaces and stuff to get the salvage for 1.
It's too much, man.
It's
It sucks.
horrible. It is horrible. It's horrible. Ah! Ah! That's the noise I make every time I'm farming. Like, stupid gold.
I don't open those bronziums.
I hate it.
They're a pain in the butt though.
I hate
I
it.
hate open bronziums. I wish there was just like a sim button like there is for everything else in the game.
But we talked about this last week. I think BCM, you were here. Calvin, you were here, I think, last week.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, we talked about like the big issue now. They've done a fantastic job of getting us to gear 12 with the updated changes in the gear and stuff. All those extra stun guffs and stun guns and droidicas, perfect. The thing that they need to
And
address.
Droidicas.
Did I say droidica? Droid
Droid
collars.
collars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're no match for droid collars. The Gear 12 stuff, man, you have to make a choice. Like, I'm having to do this right now. I had to put my Iden team on hold because I want to do 2 characters to Relic 9. I can't do both, and they're really hard to get. I think at least starting off with for this phase 2, and this should be coming soon, I'm hoping. We've been saying that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. The announcement of it, that they've got to address this Gear 12, this discrepancy in making a choice. First, you got to get the characters to Relic, but to do that, you have to use the Gear 12 pieces. But then when you want to take them higher Relics, you have to salvage the same goddamn Gear 12 that you just did. Calgon, take me away. I'm done. Somebody else.
I think they're doing a great. I think they're doing a great job in launching new characters and new omicrons. And we talked about that last answer about giving us more and more new stuff. So I think you've got this amazing engine running. The problem with giving us more and more new characters that are great. All these new characters for Star Killer are great. Star Killer's great. All the omicrons, they're starting to make old stuff more relevant, and they want you to relic them. You're giving you new ships where you might need a relic pilot. They're increasing massively the requirement for gear. So there is kind of I normally talk about there being two cadences about the amount of gear they're giving you and the amount of gear they're needing for new characters. There's almost a third one now about the number of characters they're launching. And I think they're launching so much at us now, it is draining everyone. And I think that's what Ranger's talking about, is that no matter what you are, what level you are running out. And you're not running out because necessarily you've changed what you're doing. It's the fact is there's more shiny things to use. There's like more exciting stuff to use it on. So I think I think it's difficult for us to just focus purely on, okay, when's phase 2? When's phase? Because what is phase 2? We don't even know if it's a phase 3 or phase 4. You know, it's like, it's not a defined thing. So phase 2 could change. There's a lot of different factors and just here's more stuff. The other thing I would say is that I do feel they're delayed in the road ahead.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I thought that would have been already out already, but yeah.
Yeah, I get the impression that about, we might talk a little bit about the leaks, the data mines of double drops coming on 14th. I think there's a question on some of the interesting characters that have double drops and things. They have to drop that road ahead before the 14th. So it's kind of, if you look at the cadence of when they announce things, there's certainly, I feel they're delayed on things. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things too that's kind of, Crumb's is about to have a baby. He's about to be a papa, so there's prego aggro here. So that could be delaying some stuff with him and Doja because they're the two that do that stuff. So that might be one of the reasons why, and which is a good reason. Papa Crumb, I can't believe I'm saying that.
Aw, congrats.
I don't know if they've had the
congrats.
Yeah,
Early
I don't know if he's
congrats.
had the baby yet. He hasn't made an announcement
That's
or
so
anything.
exciting.
I kept that
though.
secret for months. Dude came on a stream like he always does and said, "Hey, by the way, I'm going to be a pop." I'm like, "God damn, dude! Like seriously, you made me keep that secret and say tell no one, and then you're just going to bust that out on a stream?" He's like, "Sorry, Ranger." It's like, "No, you're not. You do this shit to me all the time. He does that with characters. He does this with anything in the game. I can't say shit, and he just likes to make me sweat." Dirty bastard. But we're very happy, and I hope to get an announcement soon for that.
I understand that they have to get approval on all these announcements, but I feel as though, things are maybe not as gone as fast over the last 3 months as maybe what they'd wanted to have with some of the communication. Not from a CG point of view, but probably from an overall. But yeah. So I think we'll see the second stage as part of that road ahead. I certainly think it's a nice sweetener to give us. It's a lot of positivity. So I think they'll use it soon.
Well, we got to do something because this is the thing holding people back. It's the Gear 12 to Relic people, which you have to do, and then have to refarm the damn thing to go get higher relics, and you need them. I mean, you need gold furnaces and stuff like mad. Those pieces are hard to get, and then to get characters to Relic 0, then have to go back and refarm them again. Like, I'm not joking. You need 250 of those pieces. The gold furnaces is those 3 main pieces for the right side to get a character to Relic 9. That's
I thought it was
like
260. Now that makes a big difference.
How much is it? 260?
I thought it was 260. Yeah.
I thought it was 250, but that's fine. Okay, 260.
Big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, 10 more. Woo!
It's another 2
God
weeks
damn
of
it.
farming.
Yeah, it's god. So it's a big issue. They got to address it. If they want to get people into the with Relic characters and to be able to do more with them in GAC and things of that nature, they've got to address it. So we'll wait on bated breath on here. So the Drummer Freak 79 says, "Good morning, skewers." Well, good morning, my friend. Says, "Thanks again for the Ross for you. Got Jen and Luke up and working and on JML. I'm 2-0 in Kyber this week, but 4.9 million, so I don't have many teams. Iden Gear 9 or Wampa Relic 3 Omicron first. Iden Gear 9 or Wampa Relic 3 Omi. I think you know my answer to this. I didn't."
Agreed.
Young lady, by God, even if you have like Gear 12 troopers and a Gear 9 Iden, she's going to do good work for you on defense. There are some counters, Trey, and some other things, but man, is that team gross.
Even an offense.
I'm going to try Nest later today.
Good luck.
We'll see how it goes.
Good luck.
Well, even I was going to say, like, it looks like I'm looking at my account. My Iden is Gear 9, and my
Okay.
troopers are all a mix of Gear 9. 3 of them are gear 9, and one of them I've been running is... Oh, no. 2 are gear 9, and then the rest are gear 10. And they've still gotten, like, holds on defense. So you don't even need to invest, like, too much into them for them to be effective.
No.
You don't even need the Omicron. It's just that delicious...
You need the Zeta.
You just need it's just that delicious cherry on top that just makes it so much better. But
if you have the Omi,
oh yeah, by all means, put that sucker on. Oh yeah, it's totally worth it. But if you don't, you can still put that team down and still get some good results from it on offense and defense. It's really damn.
Yeah, that Iden Omni just punches so far above its level. I mean, yeah, mine are, I think she's gear 8 and everything else is like gear 9, maybe 10. And she's punching, gear 12 teams like nothing.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Jeanette Big Hall. She says, question, if a ship has a crew of 2 or more, do all members mod levels increase the speed of your ship, or does only one crew member have to have 60 mods to get max speed? If so, does it matter which tunes? It's a great question. I don't know.
All matter.
All matter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's proportionately a little bit differently than, say, your average character, but yeah, it's not all just tied to one. If you want to get a fully maxed out ship, you have to have the 6E mods on everyone.
There you go. I didn't. I was trying to think. Did they each give speed, or is just a combination of like lower speed for each one that equals the same? I don't know. Someone with much better knowledge on that would let me know. Like, it's ships, man. I don't really pay attention that detailish to ships, man. I just don't. It's like, I got a count. Let me just go. Okay, I'm gonna do another fight. All right, great. Moma Nadam, what's going on? It says, question, how do I mod Son of Django and Fennec for TW, both with Omicrons? Oh, you want them to hit hard. I like good old-fashioned offense and damage on those 2 bad boys. With good speed secondaries. You don't want to have them without speed. Offense sets with good speed secondaries on both those characters, especially Fennec. Oh, she hits so hard. I only have mine at Relic 5, and she's not even 6E yet. I have 3 more mods of 6E, but good lord, when she ramps up, she does some... Oh, she hits hard. I don't know if you're using that counter, Aldis, or anybody. Calvin, I don't know if you've been using that. I used it against Lord Vader the other day, and just about killed Lord Vader. And I timed out. It wasn't that Lord Vader beat me. I just was new to it, and I kind of timed out on it. Man, oh man, is that team gross against Vader and some other teams. That thing hits hard. That thing ramps up. You're in big trouble.
Fennec is the new Dark Trooper. Like, that's
so good.
That's it. She hits so massively hard.
Oh, I love
when
it.
I actually get a chance to use relic materials again, she's the first one I'm taking up to R8 probably.
She
just punches so hard.
She's worth it. At least Relic 7. You can get away with Relic 7.
Yeah, she's at Relic 5 now, but I need to, I'm trying to push through Starkiller, so.
Yeah, I was going to take her to 7, then I promised everyone I would take JML and Piet to Relic 9, so I sit before you, Kate, a broken and bitter man, as I farm all these furnaces and stuff, and can't use them at the moment, except for salvage. Okay, I want to move on. All right.
JML is so nasty, though. I love it.
He's worth it. They're both worth it. God damn. Hellenix. Oh, God. As soon as I said the name, I knew. God, I knew it. All right. I knew it. Prepare yourselves. All right, let's see what old the Greek freak has to say. It says, question for Ranger. I was told by my guildie at Noel that I must update you on my player progress. I have 2 billion Galactic credits and 500 million ship tokens. Am I SWGOH hoarding properly? Someone slap him. Kate, go kick the crap out of Hellenix.
I like Hellenix.
Yeah, but 2 billion Galactic credits and 500 million ship tokens, and he wonders.
Hellenix. Okay.
And you wonder why he struggles with what he does in this game.
It's Hellenix. It's okay.
All right, Kate has forgiven you, and she has more power.
The super secret comp holder of the what was it? The R2 BB-8 C3PO, something like that.
Christ. Oh God.
C3PO led droids.
Yes.
All right. Noel Cook says, question, my race awesome at defense. My opponent had to use 3 GLs to take her out. Yeah. I mean, she's So one of the things that the comp that I'm running right now that it's just been giving, and I had holds the last 2 rounds, I think, with Ray. They didn't even bother trying to take her out. You got to have the right mods, right? But Ray, very offensive minded with R2, JTR. Who else am I running on that? I have to look at it. Give me a second. I will look because I have my squads. I'm an idiot this whole time. It's very fast Hero Finn, 330 or more. BB-8, R2, Resistance Hero Poe, and Ray. I'm not even using JTR on there. That sucker has been giving people nightmares with the number crunch and everything else. And I even had one where they didn't beat it, but guess who was still standing? Ray and BB-8. It was like, okay, yeah, that didn't go well. So, no, but there's different combinations. I just think Ray's good. So,
Or just R9, you're right.
oh God, more Hellenic stuff.
She is very good at
She's
R9.
delicious. All right, here we go. Hellenix question for Miss_Gaming. We haven't seen a 3v3 GAC for a while now. Do you think the patent 3PO lead with RT and BB-8 Skull will no longer be totally meta by the time 3v3 returns?
Will always be meta.
Okay. God damn it. I remember what was the comp I faced at one time and I almost died laughing. It was Momo with 3PO and Princess Leia. Well, I went first, killed Princess Leia, and the other two just disappeared. That was the easiest banner victory I have ever had in my life. I only had to kill one character. Oh my God. Oh Christ. It's your turn, BCM, from Hellenix. For BCM, where do you get that awesome print with the Viking ship hanging on the wall behind you? Is it custom, and does that vessel have a name? Hashtag inquiring minds want to know.
Well, I got it as a gift. I don't remember where it was purchased from, but the ship is the workhorse.
Well, there you go.
I mean, pretty easy.
Yeah, there you go.
It's actually Nordic for workhorse. It's like Albiad Heist. But
there you go. See, learn something new every day. Oh, don't worry, Sandfly. Awesome. You're next. Aldous. Question for the flyest Sandfly to ever fly over sand. I've been asked to ask you, what is the origin of your screen name? I've heard it's quite the amazing tale. You dirty bastard, we're not getting to that story again. You're muted, by the way.
Am I? Hi. Well, we only have 32 minutes left. It would be wrong to take up. Ask me on my channel.
Girls Beach. There you go.
It's Girls Beach.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. It's very complicated.
Yeah. The rest is a tale that will not be weaved here.
Best left unsaid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a Nordic ship in it next time.
All right.
Hell next. All right, you're up, Calvin. Awesome. He says, question for Calvin. Awesome. Is there a way to defeat a C with only one GL, a GL Ken? Totally asking for a friend's GAC.
I'm assuming this is like JMK, right?
He said GL Ken. I'm assuming that's what he means. Defeat a C with only...
so obviously you're going to want Barbie on the
Do you
team.
mean Kylo Ren?
You're not going to have enough DPS.
What does he mean, GL Ken? Who's GL Ken?
I'm guessing it's
Kenobi?
Ken is Kenobi.
All right.
Yeah.
I just make sure he wasn't calling like SLKR a Ken doll or something like
We
he
can start
does.
calling Cat Barbie in that case.
I mean, sure. You know. I mean, I'm a Barbie. Okay.
I don't. As far as advice goes, like I'm assuming you have Cat, like the two of them and like Ahsoka. The three of them can take it out. If you're wanting to undersize, if not, just bring in the full team. There's really, as long as you're taking Cat, you can't really lose.
All right, we have gotten through the Hellnix portion of the program. All right. Nathaniel, God damn it. Nathaniel Morgan, question: what are possible solutions for carbonite circuit board shortages? If it's supposed to be the best valuable relic map, but I'm always running out. I have other things to farm besides Light Side 1E. Tips, anybody here? Because I feel the pain on this.
I have yet
question.
to really run low on that one. Like the other one's bottlenecked me enough that one just kind of evens out.
Yeah, I've I get enough where I when I'm doing, because I'm constantly farming Chirotex, I get enough of that other salvage that I'm okay on those. But if you're a newer player, would it make sense just to farm the crap out of that for a couple weeks and just build those circuit boards up for the long term, right? 2 weeks straight of just hitting light side 1E or 1D or stuff like that. With all your normal energy, just go in there and just get a buttload of them. I mean, I could see that being a thing, but
I do 1E, no 1D. Sorry, I do.
They're both
1D.
good, yeah.
Yeah, so 1D gives you tons of stuff you can crunch for those. Yeah, and the drop rates are pretty good, so you do that. So sometimes if an extra energy or I've run out and I would have to kind of redo, instead of doing Kairos or something like that, I will do 1D, and I do that every so often. It depends on, like we talk about, where you are, how many you're relicking, how we need to move from that to that, but I will do that very occasionally. So I do 1D on the light side, the little Royal Guard one.
I mean, I have done that in the past where I spent a week just farming the hell out of that. Now, instead of Cartex, I'm like, man, I need me some salvage. You know, especially, as we said, once you do the 6 GLs and Executor and Star Killer, you start to cry because you have no salvage. And so I spent a week where I was just like, you know what, let's get nasty. Star Killer, you start to cry because you Of course, Thane comes into the stream like he always does and blasts my eardrums. Every time. I'm beginning to think this is on purpose thing.
Sorry.
No, you're not. I don't think you're sorry. After the 19th time of it happening, this is becoming like a tradition. You're doing this on purpose.
No, sorry.
Just admit it. Just admit that you do it on purpose, and I'll respect you more.
No, I just come in and I forget that it doesn't mute me right away.
All right. Well, look, Kate, it's the GAC Whisper thing.
Yeah.
Hello.
She's
Been giving me crap for not being around.
You haven't streamed since last year, so I don't know. Are you streaming still?
I streamed this year.
Fair question.
It might only be once or twice, but I have.
So I think I've streamed more this year than you have.
Oh, snap. Oh.
But you haven't.
Ooh.
Don't make
Well,
it.
Jack Daniels comes up with a good point. The 500 crystal for 100 in the weekly store is a pretty decent place to get those cards.
Yeah, but-
Oh, yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah, but some people just, the crystals, you know, I mean, if you can afford it, yeah, I think so.
Because I think one of those beats out the even the 50 refresh price.
Yeah,
It can be good.
I agree. Well, speaking of Kate, Nathan Ace's question: how is GAC for Kate of Gaming Defender of the Metal? She's muted and she's.
Sorry, I was trying to get off mute, and I lost the screen. But
How is GAC for Kate of Gaming Defender of the Metal?
on the smaller account, I definitely hit the ceiling. That is the okay, I'm pretty screwed. I think my first round was at least 3 GLs, 7 point something mil, and I'm barely over 6, and nobody else in the division's looking any. I don't even know if it would be better or worse. It's they're all around that same area, so I definitely have hit the ceiling with that. So I mean, I guess that means I've been doing relatively well. And you've been reading my reports in the GA Center. I've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, doing pretty solid.
Yeah, I've been going, I think 2-1, which in the GAC format, that's
Pretty good.
not terrible. The bigger account, been doing pretty well with that, but it's been a learning curve. I'm seeing a lot of star killers, and I'm just trying to figure out consistent ways to beat it. It's not easy when you don't have star killer your own one to help hold, but it's been a learning curve. So
All right. Let's get to the next question here. Nathan Ace's question: any advice on how TW comp should differ from what I run in GAC? It's pretty, unless you have an omicron. I mean, that changes things a little bit, but it's talk about stale stuff, man. TW is pretty damn stale. I mean,
Yeah.
You can consolidate less because you need, on average, what you need. What is it, 16 teams for TW, and for GAC you need 22.
Yeah,
So just be willing to consolidate a lot more.
yeah.
like the C Malik thing we're talking about. GC, it's a little bit harder to do because you kind of hinder your Darth Revan team. But in TW, like Darth Revan means a whole lot less than he does in GAC, just because he kind of fits that still relevant but not top tier team. So yeah, just look to consolidate more, maybe make only 2 Jedi teams instead of 4, etc.
Yeah, but it's pretty standard.
Well, I think in GAC you have your teams, but then you have where you put them, which I think is even more important. So always think about what you want to put on the front, what you want to hide at the back. Make sure you're surprising the person by having something at the back, which is going to cause them an added problem. Try and drain something at the front, like his SLKR, if he likes to use that for a specific counter. Before he gets to the back, try and drain his Treya before he gets to your bugs. So I think that on GAC, there's a tactical placement that goes on. I don't think in TW with the volume, I don't think it matters as much. So I know that's not necessarily comps. The other thing I'd say on comps is that GAC, you can just drain banners by AoEs and stuff like that. But yeah.
All right, Nathan H. question. What are the most important characters now to mod for speed? Jesus. How much time you got, Nathan H? I mean, good Lord in heaven.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show, brother. I mean, we'd have to go through each team and talk about each character and what kind of speed you need. Like, they're all important. It's just not that one's more important than the other. It's just that they are all important. Like, that they need that speed on them. You know, I guess give you one example. Like the Imperial Trooper team. If you're not using Gideon, which I don't, Piet's got to be at my level 350 or higher. Why? Because you got to be able to outspeed now Darth Revan's with. It used to be 330, but then Talon came into the mix, so now it's got to be 350 or higher, so you can outspeed Darth Revan's and still be able to use the troopers. That's just an example of one character in one team. That's not even counting Gideon's ass, you know, that needs crazy speed too. So, but not all the characters need speed. It's just specific teams. It's that one character in each team or two that needs speed to make you have the advantage. Like the Dash team is really Dash. The faster Dash is, if you can outspeed your opponent, he goes first, you're in big doo-doo trouble. Especially if they've got the Omicron. So it depends on what you have for Omicrons. It depends on what other characters you have, but it comes down to really that one character. But good Lord, I mean, Nathan H., just watch the stream. We talk about this stuff ad nauseum, man. I can go to each of these guys and say, pick 2 characters. I'll give them 2 teams. They'll talk about 20 minutes each about the speed on each of these characters you need and goals, and we could be here forever. What does Nathan H. says? What does Kermit take and think of farming mod salvage? Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here for Sesame Street News, and today I'm going to farm salvage for my new Relic 9 materials. Okay, let me just hit the button here. All right, let me see how many I got. All right, I got 3. 3. Oh, that's a pretty good number. Let me see how much more I need. 257 more. Well, someone doesn't like us. There you go, Kermit. I'm not doing the whole Kermit taking speech. I just did Kermit for you. There you go. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I'm not doing all that. Neo Venom, why can't CG use common sense? Easiest solution for the Gear 12 crunch for Relic is to be able to use any gear for Relic levels. Any gear for any relics. Oh, how does the panel feel about that? Any Gear 12.
As long as you exclude the what relic is it? There's one relic level that is entirely obsolete. Like we will never need another piece of it again because you can find it in the guild store for 100 at the Chromium Transistor. Like that one, they can give us as much gear for that one as one, and it will not change any bottleneck. But as far as the other ones go, yeah, because if you give us enough of that one, it takes away farming in that place, and we can put it in another. As long as they're filling one of the other pieces that's not that one, it will help the crunch in some way.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I find it overly complicated, and not all things that you crunch are created equal. And it's so that's why lots of people have like, I'm gonna, like I say, burn that for that level. I think they put something in the game that for me is a bit complicated. So I don't know if you weren't hyper involved in all the advice on all the great content creators and the great videos. I'd be a bit worried. So I think just go out there, watch any YouTube video and what the best thing to crunch each level is, because certainly it saves a huge lot.
Well, I've noticed too. There's a lot of like, I still have a lot of like greens that have like 5,000-6,000 greens that aren't used for anything unless you go through your characters and bump it up and make something else for like even the circuit boards. There's a lot of gear that we don't use for that. That's really low level that you have to go through, find the specific piece that you can scrap for it, but then you go through and make 500 of them or whatever. But I think, yeah, I mean, some of those you could use for like the carbonate circuit boards or the lower levels. I do agree with the chromium transistors. I have like insane amount of those. But.
Okay. Next question, Sharky. Question: what's the most important characters to gear up for CLS? The standard team most people use is CLS, Han, Chewie, 2PO, and 3PO. However, you can get away with an R2 in that squad instead of 3PO, or an old Ben in that team. Even Princess Leia with her new Omicron works very, very well with that team. But typically, that's the besides CLS, you definitely want Han, Chewie, 3PO, and 2PO. And that team takes out so much crap; it's unbelievable. I can't think of any other variants. Panel, hold me accountable here. Am I missing anything for characters people might put in besides 3PO?
Just as the question is which single character, which I would go 2PO, but no, sorry, Chewie. But you need to watch the guard. Is the only thing to watch. Is you got to make sure if you have an undergeared CLS team, then the guard doesn't always go where you want it. It can sometimes go a random place. So just watch that mechanic. But for me, Chewie is going to assist all the time. If you're going against a team that only has a big Chewie, you've got to stun him. You've got to prevent him going. You've got to get rid of Chewie first. So for me, the first one you would gear, if it's a choice between everybody, would be Chewie. But when I'm doing that, I need to watch where the guard goes.
Also, with the gearing them up, remember a lot of them are legendaries, and that's Raid Han. So you're going to have them at 7-star unlock pretty much. And then just remember that 2PO, especially depending what level you're at, is viable at lower star levels. And you just need to bring him to gear 11.
Even under gear 11, he's viable at low stars because he's the stat sharing that he has with the CLS.
Yeah.
I mean, makes him viable.
Yeah. So just a reminder for people who might have forgot, like, he is viable at lower star and lower gear levels, but you really don't want to stray from that team comp. Like, the other ones, yeah, you can work, but they're not nearly as effective without 3PO and 2PO.
And naturally going for GLs and all going for Jedi Knight Luke and Jedi Master Luke, that team is going to climb in its relics anyways naturally, because you need C3 or you need Chewbacca at Relic 6, you need Han at Relic 6, you need C3PO at Relic or 2PO at Relic 5 for
they're all like JML requirements, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Some
some of them are JKL, but then going for JML, you got to raise them up to those relic levels anyways. So it eventually over time will get to those levels. I wouldn't probably put too much concentration in it right now, if not needed.
All right. Let's get to the next questions here. Got a few more. I'm going to try to get through these before the end of the stream. But again, if we run out of time, because we're going to go GAC right after this. Right, Thane?
What?
Okay. He's not even awake yet. Jesus.
That's his way of saying, I'm busy. Like,
yeah,
you're on your own.
he's eating. All right.
Or sleeping.
But if we don't get your questions, we probably answered your questions. A lot of people are asking good questions in here, and that's okay. We'll try to get through the rest of these. Cass question: I recently pivoted my Lord Vader farm to go for Star Killer. Are there any other characters that meaningfully benefit at Relic 8? I already have GK and the Executor going for Ray afterwards. Any characters that are good at Relic 8? Quite a few. If you mean for the Star Killer team, I'm not sure if you mean the Star Killer team. No. I mean, they benefit, any character does, but
Star Killer.
Star Killer definitely needs Relic 8. No, Relic 6 on Star Killer works fine, right? Because he's still going to do quite well.
Yeah, but depending what level, and this is exactly why I'm going for Star Killer. Like, I am one character away from Kenobi, like, farming tickets. I'm going for Star Killer right after, just because at the level I am at, people do not have a counter to Star Killer. They don't.
No, you have to use the GL. Yep.
And even then, a lot of the GLs, like, they don't work exactly well against Star Killer. There's a couple comps that you can use that are non-GL, but you need them at the right relic level. You need the right modding on them. And if you don't have that, which a lot of people at my level don't, they're done. You put it on defense, they're done.
No, I agree. I mean, Star Killer, I'm glad I have him. He is absolutely a monster on defense and offense. So yeah, he's absolutely. But if we're talking just general Relic 8, besides Star Killer, if you wanted to go higher with him at Relic 8, I wouldn't have any problem with him. I think he works fine at Relic 6. The other characters, they work just fine at Relic 5. I mean, if you wanted to take Amara up a little bit, you can. But I have them all at Relic 5. They work just perfectly fine at that level. In a general sense, Relic 8, some of the characters we always recommend, besides the ones you need, right? Always focus on the characters you need for any character that could be used for GL. But outside of that, Gas, phenomenal at Relic 8. Jedi Knight Luke, phenomenal at Relic 8. I mean, we can go down the list of characters that are really beneficial at Relic 8. But those are just two off the top of my head that outside of GLs, like Jedi Knight Luke is unbelievable. He hits so effing hard, it's ridiculous. I don't know, what other Relic 8s would you guys say outside of like characters you need for GLs or GLs Relic 8 would you say besides Gas and Jedi Knight Luke?
Dark Trooper.
Dark Trooper's a good one. Yep.
No, you need Boba and Fiat for.
Well, you need
Executor.
Fiat.
Needs Relic 8, and then Boba needs.
But that's
Relic
for
8
an Executor.
the Executor.
Yeah, but I mean he's needed for like I consider a GL ship, right?
Bosk is always fun.
Yeah, Boss is pretty solid.
You know, any tank.
Any tank at Relic 8, right?
Yeah. So.
Any
Boss for
ship
me.
pilots, Kenobi, Malik,
Rose Tico.
not Malik,
Fives.
Malevolence, Grievous. Yeah, so there's a few out there that you can do, but yeah. Relic 9's a lot more specific because it only buffs up certain characters and tanks to where you get the advantage from it. So unlike Relic 8, which has a very broad buffage to stats, Relic 9 is more about tanks. That's why Jedi Master Luke is so good. I didn't even notice we lost Calvin Awesome. Oh no, Calvin.
He posted up. He had to leave.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll make sure Pimp is up here in a few minutes. CMY68 question: how do you determine when and how to sell mods? I'm okay with understanding kits and knowing what I need when I need it, but given the wide variety in the games, I never want to sell. Also, hello. Hello. Pretty simple. Any mod for me at this point, blue 5-speed or below, buy. I don't care. I just like no. Now it gets a little bit trickier after that. If it's a purple 8, 9, or 10. Depending on the mod, like say if it's a tenacity cross, that's a tenacity set with a tenacity, right? Even though it's only 8 speed purple, I'm going to keep that because those mods really have value. If they've hit a stat that equals to what they are, like health, protection,
Yeah.
and the speed's like 8 to 10 on the purple, you want to keep that. Anything else that did the dreaded 2s, get that shit out of your inventory. You're just not going to get any value out of it, right? Anything double digit, especially on speed mods or any mod that has 10 or higher, where you're going to get that extra bump in speed like 11, 12 when you go take it to 6E, still has a great chance of getting to 20 or above 20. We have to rethink about what we keep for mods, but when I'm looking at mods, If it doesn't hit 5 speed when I first roll it from gray up, it's gone. If it gets to blue 5, even 6s and 7s, unless it's got a crazy secondary set, like I said, tenacity, that shit's out of my inventory. That makes life so much easier. I don't have to think about it. That's the easiest way I can think about how you can get your inventory cleaned out as quickly as possible.
Well, you also got to watch, like, speed. Yes, it holds a lot of value, but you really need to watch your primaries and secondaries and try to have, like, matching sets. Like, if you have an offense mod and you, like, if it's the cross, ideally you're going to want the offense primary and then the flat offense secondary. Like, that's great. And then if it has speed on top of it, bonus. You're set.
Yeah.
That's the huge thing. Like, I've seen so many accounts recently where, they got, like, the roll and the speed mods, but their secondaries are not there in the primaries. It's not there. You need to take a look at the character as a whole and what you're utilizing them for and build off that.
Yeah, arrows are a great example of that, because a lot of times I don't care if the speed is on an arrow. Like I have it on gas and some other characters. It's like, okay, it's got 10 speed. I don't care. I'm looking for the offense and protection and stuff on that arrow to put on that characters. I do that a lot for my GLs and other characters. It's like, okay, it's got some speed, great, but I'm not really concerned about that. I do want some speed, but it's like, yeah, that's a health. I'm going to use that. Yeah, that's going on Old Grievous there. I don't really care that it only has 10 speed on the secondary.
Yeah, like the Queels and the Griefs of the world, like, just make them as fast as possible. And obviously Boss needs protection, but fast as well. But there's a lot of characters that if you're focusing a lot on the primaries and secondaries and giving them the correct stats, even if they're running a tad slower, they're gonna do a lot better for you in the long run because of the stats they're gaining from those primary and secondaries.
Right. Absolutely.
I would say general rule of thumb is to match the set, be it health, offense, crit damage, crit chance, whatever it is, speed, as long as that shows up somewhere in the mod itself. Like if it's a speed set, you want speed in there. If it's a health set, either you want a health percentage, or be it the primary or one of the secondaries. If it's offense, you want offense percentage, or at least a percentage somewhere in there. If it doesn't match at all, get rid of it, because it's not going to do you any good. It could be, you could have an offense set with health primary, but it's got 10 speed. Well, yeah, that's great, but what's it going to do for you if it's got protection, health, and crit chance on it? That's not going to do you any good. So it's definitely kind of matching everything is where my rule of thumb lies. If it doesn't match, it's not worth my time.
Yep, I do the exact same thing, and then I do, all right, as long as they match, I'm gonna bring it up. If I don't hit a second roll of speed by blue, it's gone.
Pretty much.
I'm nowhere as knowledgeable as these people. My rule of thumb, or what I quite enjoy doing, so I used to use like the Grand Ivory, whack all your mods on type stuff, and that was okay. But then I had an expert called Ranger came on my little channel, and he helped me remod. So I find that once you've remodded your roster properly, it's much easier to realize the stuff that's left over. So either talk to somebody like an expert that knows, or sit down yourself with a bit of paper and work from your best character down, putting, like we say, offense on that character, speed on that character, work from like the top 20, then stick like decent mods on the ones after that. And then whatever's left over is probably semi-trash because it didn't fit anywhere else. That'd be my kind of advice.
Good point.
So getting that person, even for a short period of time, to spend a short period of time with you, to just to sort the top, like, because the top characters in your roster it's the Pareto principle. The top 20% is probably 80% the value. If you can get that top 20% or those top 5 or whatever sorted with the right mods, doing the right things, it makes a much bigger difference than whatever you've got going on Resistance Trooper or whatever. So sorting the top bit sticking any rubbish on the rest and then just getting rid of whatever's left is probably how I do it to me trying to dumb down to my level from what Kate and BCM said, where, that's kind of how I looked at it. Now I kind of feel sorted for my main characters. Everything else is kind of falling more into place, and I don't feel quite self-conscious about, oh god, what mod's that one? And yes, I also have cleared out a lot, because when you sort your top of your mod, when you sort the rest of the mod out, or the roster out, you can kind of sell a load.
We cleaned the hell out of your roster.
And you just have
so
a lot
much
more
stuff in there.
You don't have as much time. You don't get pressurized to sell. Anyway, that's my.
All right.
And I do want to add with
go ahead.
modding, like, it's a lot to learn. Like, I'm still learning. I need to go and fix my whole, like, smaller account roster, because, like, I really didn't know modding well at all. Like, when I started streaming and stuff, like, I'm still trying to work through my mods and get them in a position where I have the ideal mods on characters. It's going to take a long time, and it's okay to be frustrated by it. That's a normal feeling with modding. And if you have ideas of what you're looking for and basically do a lot of what BCM said, you're going to feel like you're not making any progress for a while, but then you're going to get to a point where you're going to realize, like, all those moddings you sifted through, and you probably sold a lot. Like, if you do the mods, like farming, you might sell like almost all of them, but like you're gonna help yourself in the long run. So it's a very frustrating process, but it does pay off in the end.
Modding is all about quantity.
Yeah,
because you see these god mods, but we don't get these these 25 plus speed mods or secondaries by just nitpicking through. We go through just thousands of mods to find these, and it is a little daunting, but it's something it's the game within the game, as Jig used to say, is you just it's all about quantity, and you just have to buckle down and do it. And if you want your teams and your roster to be modded well.
Yeah, and I always tell people that if you're not sure how you want to mod a team or a character, go to any of these content creators like Calvin. You can look at my GG page, and look how they've got their characters modded. You can take a look at what they're doing, and it gives you some ideas of, like, okay, Ranger's got offense on Yoda, why? Okay, and then you can ask, or say, okay, that's what I need to do. It just gives you a baseline, and then you can build from that. Okay, I think he's got this mod on here, but I want to try this, but at least you start asking the questions and fiddling around with it a little bit, and you get more comfortable with modding and stuff like that. So just a suggestion for whatever content creator you love or person you love, whether it's myself, Loki, Kate. We work hard on our mods, and I'll give you some good ideas of what you can shoot for.
Just know there are many days I go like going through my 50 refreshes on my mod farming days, and I will keep like only like 1 or 2 mods.
Oh yeah,
and that's bringing them all up to a level where you can see all the stats. I might sell all of them except for like 2, and then those might not even go my way. Like it's a whole process.
Absolutely. Speaking of modding, and Kate, question from Utah. Question for Kate: I need help to shore up my roster. Need mod help. Can you help me? Ask Ranger.
You haven't helped Kitty Yoda.
I help him all the time. I don't know what he's
that
talking
doesn't
about.
sound like it.
That he's talking shite, and I'm going to punch him in the face. He just wants to get help from the lovely Kate Gaming is what he's trying to do. I see what you
better
did.
be helping Kitty Yoda.
Contingent 33 question: is Shrewd worth taking up through Relics anymore if I have the standard Momo team set? No. Sure, it's gotta fall away till he gets an omicron or something. No, leave him alone.
No relic.
No relic for you. Jack Daniels question: how many non-speed primary arrows do you keep? How many crit avoidance? How many protection? How many offense? Quite a few, actually. It depends. Like I would say you probably at least.
I've got at least 3, 1 for each of the trio, but that's
those are
the
hard to
bugs.
find, though. They're hard to find.
Yeah, but a lot of times on those arrows, if they've got speed on them, I don't care what they hit. Like if they got good secondary stats, if I get like I said, 10 or 11 speed on that sucker, I'm still going to keep it. Like if it's protection primary and it's got protection secondary and stuff like that, I'm going to keep that arrow. Right, crit avoidance. I've got a couple. I put on a couple characters, but mainly it's the ones that really matters, like protection, offense. Those are some like delicious arrows that you don't give a crap about the speed. You're just like, give me them stats, baby. You know. And I find myself doing more of those. I don't know the exact number of how many I keep, but I have quite a few. I'd have to go through and check like how many of those I have on characters and stuff. Quite a few actually. But
I also know people
characters.
also tend to like forget about making those ones 6E, and especially the ones that are health primaries. You get huge boost when you bring a health primary mod to 6E. Like under protection obviously is very good because you're like, it's like 23.5% or something, and health is a lot lower. But once you bring it to 6E, that's a huge bump.
Yep.
Like don't forget about those ones.
Even the offense ones from 5 to 8, that's 3%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big boost. Trust me. You'll be. I mean, and the last question we'll take today is from Alexander Bryan. Says, question: how long till they allow us to convert scraps of gear into full pieces of gear for those who don't have Quill at Gear 6, for example? Seems overdue. No idea.
It's a huge problem, which I don't think we ever expected. In that, if you are at the absolute end game, you don't have a Relic 5 like cup or something to be able to farm the piece to get to the Relic, you know. So yeah, it is a huge problem in the game, which I don't know how the people at the very top. I had Loki on my channel Thursday, and I asked him like, why do you have like Jedi Consular and somebody up your favorites? I was like, well, it's specifically to farm stuff. So I genuinely think it's going to be a huge problem and something that CG needs to do, and needs to do it in the next maybe couple of months. Otherwise, there will be a huge backlash from the whales because they aren't going to be able to farm that one bit of stuff they need to then burn for the relics. So it is a huge issue.
All right, so that's it. We're gonna go get ready to do some GAC. Are you
You
awake?
got one more question, Ranger.
There's
literally one.
There's one more question.
One.
Yeah, but then another.
It's actually very important.
Okay.
For people depending on their level.
Okay, Captain Blackbeard. Har, be my friend from the 7 seas. Har, we named the monkey Jack. So this question: how or what order would you rank these? Dash, Kyle Katarn, Talon, Mary Jade. I would rank them Mary Jade, Dash, Kyle, and then Talon. Well, actually, yeah, Kyle and Talon. Kyle and Talon depend. I mean, they both work very well, but Mary Jade is sick with C. Dash is unbelievable. He is really, especially with his Omicron, just so effing good. And then Kyle makes the Momo team much better. And then Talon does a nice boost, but they just boost their team. Mary Jade and Dash, my God, those two are absolutely dynamite. Oh my God, they're so good. I don't know, were you guys, the order for you different? But I think Mary Jade, Dash, and then the other two.
Yeah, I think at my level, depending on the teams, or because of the teams, I would definitely put Mara because you're going to have EP Vader, so the lower range Mara is going to be top dog. After that, I would put probably Kyle, because Talon does her thing regardless of her level, so she's just there. But then Kyle, because you're probably going to have Momo if you have Jedi Master Luke or the Momo squad. And then after that, Dash is good for like the BAM team. And then, yeah, Talon can be last because she does her thing even at 3 stars.
Yeah, I think that's important because BCM and I are around the same GP wise, I believe. And I look at this more of a gearing order, not like which one should you, like a rank order. I look at them as like a gearing up order. And Mara Jade and her Omi, especially like where BCM and I are at, is huge. Like I've been getting almost every single TW with it. And like my squad is not like fully relicked or anything. Like my Palp and Tarkin are gear 12. Actually, my Gideon is too. And then I run TIE Fighter Pilot with it. And that's Relic 5 due to the Executor requirements. But my Mara Jade is, I think, gear 11, like 5-star. So, I mean, once I finish Kenobi, I am going for Star Killer. Mara is the first one. Like, obviously I got a farmer first, finished farmer, but she's the first one that I want to bring up. Kyle is the next one, because Kyle, even though I don't have a full Momo squad, I don't have really any of them at the level they need to be at. I don't have Kara at a good level. I don't have Pal at a good level. I don't have Hawthorne Scout at a good level. So just adding a Relic Kyle into that mix is huge for me. And then Dash, like at our level, very good because he works with, I believe, the scoundrels. So you can throw in like Vandor and like 3 other scoundrels, and that's going to be a really great team. Talon's going to do her thing regardless, as you guys were saying, of her level, because she's like 3-star gear, like 9 for me, and I've just been throwing her with Darth Revan because she just speeds up Darth Revan and eliminates the trooper counter.
For me, it's pretty simple. I would snog Talon. I would marry Jade. I would avoid Kel-Katar, and I would kill Dash. That's it. That's my ranking.
All right. All right. So I think that is all the questions. Yay, we did, guys. You did a great job. Hey, we did it, guys. Way to go. We did it. Yay. All right. Now we're gonna pimp everybody's stuff, and then I'm Thane is staying alive. Is he there? Ready for
Yeah. What's up?
Right, you ready for some GAC? Damn it, Thane. God damn it.
That depends.
What is it? What do you mean?
Is Kate gonna join us?
I don't know. Kate, do you want to join us on the GAC fight time with Ranger and Thane?
Well, you guys don't mind, I ate my lunch while.
No, eat your lunch.
guys do
Hell yeah,
GAC.
man. Nom 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 nom. Hell yeah. All right,
I'm
so
gonna have breakfast while we're GAC, so yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, there you go. All right. So we're gonna pimp everybody's stuff here, and then we're gonna go right into GAC. Hell yeah, we're gonna rock and roll, and we're gonna set up on Twitch. If you need the Twitch link, it's in the description below. I'm responding to a person here, but we're gonna go knock out GAC. It'll be on Twitch. Twitch is linked in the description, and then we'll go do some GAC with the lovely Kate and whoever else wants to join. I'm sure BCM and Alice can come hang out too if they want to. So we're going to go do that right then. Just give us, as soon as we end the stream, give me 5-10 minutes at most. Everyone can have a pee break, get some water. Kate needs to get her lunch, and then we'll rock and roll from there. So that being said, let's let everybody pimp their stuff. I'm going to pimp Calvin's stuff since he had to go. Please, if you have not seen the GAC Master Calvin Awesome, you should. Awesome GAC player. You can find him on Twitch at Calvin Awesome. Just in Twitch search Calvin Awesome SWGOH. You'll find him. He's not that hard to find. And he usually streams, I think he said Wednesdays, and I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday he does his other one, and then something along those lines. But he's got a schedule on there, so you can check out the schedule. I'm sure he's got a calendar where you can find out, but he's pretty consistent with when he does it. So please go support Calvin. You should really watch Calvin. Dude knows his shit, seriously. And before we let everybody else pimp their stuff, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video here if you're watching this right now. We're going to get ready to go do it on Twitch. But do me a bigger favor and go check out these other awesome content creators, because they take the time in their busy schedules to come here and spend a couple hours answering questions for you guys. The least you can do is go sub to their channels, watch some of their stuff. It really does make a difference, guys. So please do that. And we're going to just go in order. Kate, where can folks check you out? World famous Kate Gaming.
I'm on Twitch, Kate Gaming _ at the end. They will tell you I've been very inconsistent with streaming lately.
Yeah, real life, it's understandable. It's okay. But go check out Kate at that channel.
I'll probably do GAC after you.
Okay, cool. Yay! If you want, you can do your GAC on ours if you want. And that way you don't have to stream. You can just share your screen and we'll do it for you. Yay!
No, I need to actually stream mine. People have been like, you haven't been on Twitch since this day. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like Thane.
No, it wasn't. I've had a couple other people other than Thane call me out.
Really?
Like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
If it's more
I'm
people,
like, I'm still alive. Don't worry.
If it's more than Thane, the things are happening. Okay, BCM, the Big Country Mags.
Yes, yeah, Big Country Mags on Twitch. Also check out the Escape Pod cast, because I'm a moderator over there.
Yay.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, go check them out. And then of course we're going to the island of Sunfly.
I really am in that busy. That's why I'm here every week. I stream on Twitch. Well, welcome to Sandflies. It's still the only channel that literally says "welcome to" in the title. Super fun.
What he's saying when he says that is that we're all dicks, and he's not.
No, I'm only saying, like, literally, the
I don't welcome anybody in.
I'm gonna go change my name and say welcome to the Longhouse.
That's right.
I was about to say I'm about to go change mine too, but I'm not doing that. I'm lazy.
We're going to start out. Everyone will have welcome to that. It just saves a lot of things when people arrive.
You trendsetter.
7.7 million GP. Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. We drink. But we stream in the morning, so we're late night Americans. But much love. Thank you. I'll be here next week, unless I'm banned, and we won't get to the story about where my second name comes from.
Make sure you tip your waitresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I think we're good on that. All right, so we're gonna go get set up for GAC over on Twitch. I'm actually pulling it up right now, and we're gonna go do some GAC. So, and then you can go right to Kate and go watch Kate. Then go right to Sandfly, watch Sandfly. Just a big Twitch stream party of just content creators. We're gonna do
What time are you doing all this?
I'm done. No, I did mine.
Oh, he's already did. So yeah, he's just hanging out. So then we can all just join.
We can't go to welcome to Sandflies.
Well, yeah.
That's sad.
Well, you can. No.
Way to go, way to go, Aldous. You made Kate sad.
I ruined it. Sorry. I've done bad things. Nah,
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to be disappointed there, huh, Kate?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, shush, Thane.
No. Honestly, I benefit
That's
from.
just pain. Just poking that bear, man. Jesus.
I'm at the end of the American night, so everybody just ends up just in my channel, and it's like, okay, why are you here? And it's it is a party. Anyway, awesome. Thank you for allowing me back on.
You're always welcome here, buddy.
I hope I didn't talk over everyone again.
What?
I don't care.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't. We can socialize them. Okay. Anyway, I have a.
Let's go do some GAC. How about that?
All right, let's do it.
When's BCM doing, GSA?
Yeah.
Soon. I could do it after you.
After me or Ranger?
You.
Oh,
Kate,
yeah,
Kate.
we'll go right over there.
Yeah. See, there you go. We're coordinating our attack pattern. So there we go. Attack pattern Delta, go. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. If you don't see us on Twitch or D&D, then you can see us whenever you see us. So everyone be safe, and we will holler at you later. Peace.